y'all, because we super bad. And this is a super bad book that we want you guys to make sure you get a copy of. Now, we are going to be giving you the information of how you can get the book on Amazon. And we're also going to be giving you information how you can get your signed copy from each one of these phenomenal authors that are hanging out with us today to share why they are a part of this book. So, as I always say, get your pen and get your pads because there's going to be some great tidbits that's going to be thrown out from these artists. But before we get started, I would be remiss if I did not introduce the visionary, the professor of change, the person who has not only made BTBY possible, but has made this book possible. So we're going to ask Miss Brenda Ringwood to unmute herself and say a few words to the audience.
Well, it shows I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Well, hello, everybody. Look at all of these beautiful faces, including those watching. We all have a value. You are worthy. And that's why we decided to write this book, because no matter what's going on in your life, you can become a better person every day, every minute, every hour, every day. And that's what we're focusing on, is how to do that. There's story after story after story. They are all different. Every single one of them are different.
Absolutely. And that's what is really great about this book. We had each one of these people with different stories, different journeys, but the unifying thing is that each and every one of us are working, even as we are here on this live feed right now, we're working on being better versions of ourselves. And as we work on being better versions of ourselves, we hope that something you read or something you see or something you hear over these next couple of weeks will help you become a better version or even the best version of yourself for right now. Now, I'm not going to be saying a whole lot. I am one of the authors in the book, but we've got a whole lot of people up here that want to talk to you about their book. So we're going to ask people to just step up and talk about their book, say hello to their tribe, and we're going to do 3 questions. Who you are, why you decided to be in this book, and then you use the rest of your time to tell us a little bit about your chapter in the book. So, you know what? We are about making shit happen here at BTBY. So let's start with the person who invented that phrase, who coined that phrase, and made that phrase a part of our daily life, Mr. John E. Avocado.
Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I'm really glad that you had me on the show, the day after Thanksgiving, because we have all got so much to be thankful for. And I'm so happy to get to be part of being of this group that's bringing some of this amazing knowledge and some of this wonderful power to everybody, especially in the season that's coming up ahead of us. Sometimes people think of the spring as the season of change, but I'm going to tell you what, I think it's at the end of the year when we look back and reflect at what we've done is really the season of change for all of us. So I am super excited to be part of this organization and part of this book and be able to put, some real tangible, not just stories, but powerful words of inspiration, motivation, and education about how you can move forward for yourself.
Well, Johnny, we appreciate you, and I'm working from my iPad, so I'm trying to put you solo screen so you can answer those 3 questions. So let me throw those questions out there again. Who you are, why you decided to be a part of this book, and then tell us about your chapter. Your chapter is called, Man, I Became Aware, Therefore I Must. That's a powerful chapter. So take it away, Johnny.
Oh, man. So I am Johnny Avocado, right? A lot of you know me. And my catchphrase, of course, is I make shit happen. And then the tagline that goes with that is so can you. Because that's the really powerful statement about what we're saying here at the Becoming the Best You movement, the Becoming the Better You movement, which I wholeheartedly embrace that change because, we try to be our best, but we really just have to be better than we were the day before or even the moment before. If we take every moment as it comes to us and take not just the reasonings from the world, but, decide that we're going to turn that into an experience rather than an excuse, that's really what can be fundamentally different for us. And part of being an organization with the BTBY is a great way for us to start to exercise those. So I'm Johnny Avocado. I'm a motivational speaker. I do a lot of things in tech. I help inventors get their ideas out into the world. I work in a really amazing space in virtual reality. But one of the things that I probably am most known for when I work with the organization Becoming the Better You is that I'm a communicator. And what I discovered, which is part of what is my chapter in this book and why I put it in there, was that I had to learn to communicate first to myself and then to the people around me. And when I learned to do those things for myself, it made my life so much simpler. Now, we'll get to the part of my part. I wanted to be part of this book because I felt called, I felt compelled. When I began to figure these things out for myself, like many folks in the book here today, I had to decide, what does that mean for me? And how do I put my story together for me? And the best way, as many of us speakers in this group have even had these conversations with one another, the best way for me to put my story together is to try to tell it to somebody. So I'll be honest with you, it was a very self-serving and selfish reason that I was part of this book. It was a really phenomenal opportunity for me to put my story together in a better way so that I could share it with somebody like, the folks here at the BTBY. So when I decided to be part of that, man, that was really the drive for me, was when I can put my thoughts together, when I can put them into something cohesive, then it means so much more. So the book, my chapter there is talking about, being aware and therefore I must. The catchphrase there that I'm playing words on there is that original, to be man, I think, therefore I am, right? And that was, the behest of what to philosophically be a human being was, to be a thoughtful, considerate person. But how I see that is that, we as people have to continue to evolve as societies, as individuals, as groups and organizations. And so we can't just stand on the laurels of what came before. It's not just enough for us to think and to exist. Is that we're aware of the ability for us to change, and what needs to happen in the world is for us to change. And so the next step in that is to take responsibility for that knowledge, is to carry that burden. We had a recent revival that I got to had the great pleasure to speak at. It was probably my first attempt at a sermon, and I spoke on that a little bit about carrying that burden and about the responsibility of what you say. It's not just what we say; it's that we carry the burden to do the things that we say. And so that's a lot of what you're going to find in that chapter that I wrote to put into the book is how I kind of made that journey for myself, how I made that self-discovery of I had to accept the responsibility of not the position or the situation, but the burden that I had to put on myself to change. And I hope that others, through reading my chapter, will get to do the same. And I'm going to throw one more in here, Terrence. We talked a little bit earlier about some of the other chapters in the book. And many folks will think that I will fanboy over my good friend Chuck's chapter in the book, and I certainly will. But I'll tell you, there are some chapters in here from some individuals that, I just don't know their story well enough. And I'll tell you, probably one of the stories I would really like to hear and when I'll get my chance to read it in the book is Charles Prince's story. I just don't know his story well enough. I know some of what he does and how powerful he is and what he does to try to help the youth in the area and the community around him. And I just can't wait to be able to hear the inspiration that he's put into the book, like so many of the other speakers. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the time to talk about what I got to do with part of the BTBY, and I'm so thankful and grateful to get to be a part of it. I hope that what I did helps somebody on their journey.
Well, we are thankful and grateful that you are part of this book. Give it up for John E. Avocado. You guys, definitely, his story is a story that you should be reading, and you're going to get the opportunity to get a copy of the book, whether you get it from Amazon, which is the link we're going to put up. We're probably going to put that link up at the last minute, because as a coach and as a speaker myself, it's great to have your book published on Amazon. Yes, we want this book to be an Amazon and a New York Times bestseller, putting it out there into the universe, y'all. But I think what I love best is when I get a book and I know the author, and the author has signed the book, and that gives me a really personal attachment to that author. So John E. Avocado, if they want to get a signed copy of your book, how will they get in contact with you? And we're also going to make sure that you add that into the comments, okay?
There we go. Yeah, well, you can see it on the screen there. You can go to www.johne, that's John, the letter E, .avocado, and avocado spelled AVOCADO. Sometimes folks get the A wrong in there. So avocado.com, and you can check out my webpage. You'll be able to see where you can either meet up with me or get a signed copy of my book right there on the page. And I really hope that you'll be able to, hopefully I'm letting the cat out of the bag here, or I'll put some inspiration into us. There's got to be a BTBY meetup where you're going to be able to get more than one signature on this book, right?
Absolutely. I think there's somebody strategically in the back putting together something for Kansas City, probably before the end of the year. But
outstanding.
We won't let that cat out of the bag just yet. So thank you so much, Johnny Avocado. And for the rest of our authors that are on the screen right now, you can do the same thing that Johnny did. We look at these lives and we think the audience is going to be looking at us as the professionals, but we're learning at the same time. And you too, as an author, if you've got a link where you want people to come get a copy of your book, just go ahead and add it in that name link that you've already created, and it'll be popping up on the screen. Johnny Avocado, check out his chapter in the book. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't have to go far to get to his chapter. His chapter is on page 25 of the book. So open it up and jump right on in and learn how you can, just by listening to how Johnny decided. He became aware, and therefore he is. All right, moving along. Let's move on to our leadershipologist, as we like to call him. He has studied this whole industry, this whole field called leadershipology, and now he is the go-to person if you are learning how to become a better leader, a leader of one, so that you become a leader of many, and so that you can create a culture of champions within your organization. He is none other than our good friend Velton Showell III. Hey, Velton.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you too, my friend. Tell us, how and why did you decide to be a part of this fabulous book, Becoming the Better You, The World is Ready? And then tell them a little bit about your phenomenal chapter in the book.
It's amazing. When I met Brenda and I met some of the other people, and
oh my goodness. Looks like we lost him real quickly. Hopefully he can get back in. This is live, y'all, so sometimes these things happen. So we are going to see if we can get him back in and finish what he was saying. In the meantime, we're going to pivot real quick, and let's go to Lori. Lori, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hey, Lori.
I am so grateful for being here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. So here's your 3 questions, Lori. Tell us who you are, why you decided to be a part of this book, and a little bit about your chapter.
Yes. So I'm Lori Morgan. I am the owner of Sacred Connections. And I included that here because connections can be spelled many different ways. And my why I wanted to be part of this book, it actually started back in 2020. I was on a podcast, and through that podcast, I was still feeling shame from my story. This was a second chance for me to no longer feel that shame and be set free. And that is my why for being in this book. When you're no longer in that survival and victim living, you're able to start to set yourself free. And that is what this chapter is all about. And when I mean by this, I felt trapped in my own personal prison. And through my own personal experience, I was able to not only set myself free, but now I'm helping others. And through this experience, I have embodied and journeyed through these three experiences, or these three secrets to living life to your fullest. And that is connecting to you, living your most authentic self, loving yourself, and gratitude. And so that is my why, and that is a little bit about my chapter. And I wanted to speak on another chapter that really resonated with me, and that is Terence Leffridge's chapter, Unstoppable. What this chapter did for me is I was able to see myself. I was able to not only feel like I was being given permission to show up, but show up as myself and believe in myself. So I highly encourage you to also read his chapter. And I am taking my time to read everyone else's chapter. This is the one that I was just honestly able to see myself in first. So thank you.
I love it. Give it up, you guys, for Lori Morgan. And see, this
Thank
is the
you.
beauty of having an anthology. And an anthology gives you the opportunity to introduce yourself to the world, but it also gives you the opportunity to have the world introduced to you. And this is a beautiful way to do it, because Lori's tribe is going to be picking up this book, and Lori's tribe is also going to be introduced to me for the
Yes. And how you would purchase this book through me so that you could also get a signed copy from me is you would go to Sacred Connections, and I put it on the screen. It's hyphenated between Sacred and Connections, and that's .com. That is my website. And on there, there's ways to partner with me as well as purchase this book. So thank you so much. Mm.
All right, mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? All right. You know, Lori's stuff was so nice that it just blew up the internet. There's all these people that are about to get her book when they go over to connections.com that they just completely kicked me out so that they can make room for her. So we appreciate you. I'm going to see, just in case, if I can add somebody else as our co-host here. So I'm gonna work that out in the background. But in the meantime, we're gonna kick it back to Velton, because Velton, you know, your tribe was just jumping on at the same time beforehand, trying to hear what you had to say, and kicked me out. So let's go back to where you were. You were talking.
Well,
You got introduced to myself and to Brenda and to the
and to
rest of us.
Brenda and this wonderful family in St. Louis. And I'll start by saying the devil is a liar. We're back, and we are
Absolutely.
going to continue to move ahead and do our work. But what intrigued me was the fellowship, the camaraderie, and the family atmosphere that I felt when I met all of these people at that conference. And they talk about me as the leadershipologist, but leading is really, the best leaders lead from behind, and they're servants. They are not out there waving their flag or focusing attention on themselves. They're focusing their attention on other people and helping other people be the best that they can be, because it's not a single person sport. It's really a team effort in everything. The other thing is, bottom line is, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon for most of us. And the chapter that I wrote was entitled "Success Never Goes on Sale." And the reason I wrote that chapter is one of the things that happens to all of us is we have obstacles that are thrown in our way. We have hurdles that we have to overcome. And we see other people at the pinnacle of success and we say, why not me? Why are they doing so well and I'm not there myself? Well, what I wanted to share with them is my journey and the journey of some other people who have become very successful. But what allowed us to be successful is not when we got to the top, it's the journey and what we learned in the process. What helped us develop ourselves to becoming a better us. So the chapter that I wrote was really more focused on letting you know that you're not alone. You're not out there struggling. Other people are struggling. Other people are overcoming obstacles and hurdles, and you can too. So that's really the focus of the chapter that I wrote. But here's the thing. Every chapter in this book, and I'm not going to talk about one specific, but because I've read multiple, all tell the story of people's struggle and their triumphs, how they were able to not give up. You know, success never goes on sale, but failure is a temporary situation. The only thing that makes it permanent is giving up. So don't give up.
I love it. I love it. And Belton's chapter begins on page 177. Success never goes on sale. But he gives you some great tips. I'm not going to tell you what page it's on. You have to read his entire chapter. But one tip that he talks about is having perseverance. And I'm going to read directly from what he says. Perseverance is crucial in the journey to success. When faced with challenges, keep moving forward, stick to your strategy, persist in your efforts, and hold on to your dreams. Now, that's some powerful stuff if you are looking to become a better version of yourself each and every day. One of those keys is perseverance, and that's just one of the tips that Belton shares in his chapter. And Belton, I see on your screen, they can get where they can go to get a personalized signed copy of your book, right?
Absolutely. Yes. We have a membership portal called the Culture of Champions. And what we do there is we exchange information with you and other people in the membership group to help you become a better part of you. The book is going to be available. I'll sign a copy for you there. And there's other things, tips, techniques, strategies, and opportunities for you to go from average to outstanding.
Wow. Go from average to outstanding and become a better you. Couldn't said it better myself. So yes, definitely check out his chapter. Success Never Goes on Sale on page 177 of the book. Check out Lori's chapter, 3 Secrets to Living Life to the Fullest, on page 123 of the book. So I hope I'm getting you guys hyped up to go and get this book right now, because we got some phenomenal stories that are in this book. And those are just a few of the phenomenal authors that you're going to be introduced to if you decide to go ahead and get the book. The book is called Becoming the Better You. The world is ready. Here it is right here, live and in Technicolor. Great read, great Christmas gift for your people who are looking to end 2023 strong or start 2024 on the right track to becoming the best version of themselves and a better you each and every day. All right, so let's move forward. You've heard from Johnny, you've heard from Belton, you've heard from Lori. Let's get some more female love up in the place. I'm going to ask Johnny, I'm going to put you down for a second, but you'll still be back there in the room. Hopefully I don't kick you from the stage like I like I didn't mean to do somebody else, Velton. So, hey, charge it to my head, not my heart, and to the iPad. I told y'all that iPads were from the devil, but we do what we have to do. We are going to bring to the stage one of our other feminine powers who is a legacy liberator. If we can just get this, come on, iPad, work with a brother. Come on. Looks like it didn't want to work with the brother right then. We're gonna make it happen. iPads are pretty sensitive, so I'm finding out, not like good old Androids that take a licking and keep on ticking. Okay, here we go. There we go. We have got the legacy liberator, who is also a part of this phenomenal book, Becoming the Better You, The World is Ready. And if you are ready to liberate your life, if you're ready to liberate the love in your life, if you're ready to become a better version of yourself, then you have to listen to the legacy liberator herself, Andrea Luzon. Come on and unmute yourself, Andrea, and welcome to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I thought I was just being brought on, but here we go. Let's do this.
No. Backtrack. You got to do your signature because I love your signature. Hey, love.
Oh, hey. Thank you, Terrence. Hey, loves.
Hey, Andrea. How are you?
I'm really glad to be here. I'm at the public library. Just, I'm momming and also being inspired by my work. And of course, now the number of children has multiplied. So you might hear some children's voices in the background. And that's a little bit about what my chapter is about as well.
Well, come on, tell us about it and tell us why you decided to be a part of this book.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you all so much for having me. This book, it's been such a joy to be a part of. I have read everyone's chapter and I want to read them again. That's how much the book has inspired me. So to tell you all a little bit about me, I'm Andrea Luzon, a legacy liberator. I help leaders and ADHD moms. So a mom who's struggling herself with neurodivergence, or she's in a family that is neurodiverse. And neurodiversity is oftentimes a diagnosis that is considered a disorder, which is attention deficit disorder, autism, sensory processing disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and all of these words that are disorder. But I really just love the appreciation of we are all neurologically diverse, like truly. And yet there can be like a delay with those medically diagnosed disorders. So I help those leaders, I help those moms liberate their love legacy, which is a process where I bring harmony and success to their personal, their family, and their professional life. And I do this through this love legacy work. And that's what it's all about. And I chose to be a part of the book because I wanted to share the message that a love legacy, it is already alive inside of you. Like everyone has a love legacy. And what is that? That is the unique imprint that you make on hearts and minds through your presence, your words, and your deeds. And what we don't realize is the imprint starts here in your own mind, your own heart, your own body. What are you telling yourself? What did you grow up hearing? So the more grounded you are in your self-love, self-trust, and choosing yourself, the more that love legacy is just going to emanate from you. When we start detaching from it, and kind of to go with what Lori and Velton have shared about their chapters, like the human mind, the human soul and mind just really begins to struggle when we are more attached to those negative thoughts, those negative ways of being. So my chapter, it tells the story of a young mother's dark night of the soul and how she reclaims her love legacy. So many humans are struggling mentally, physically, spiritually, and or emotionally. But much of the struggle comes from that self-minimizing that is inflicted by our own human mind. So in this mother, her downward spiral comes from pretending, self-denial, and also nullifying her own sovereignty, her own power. And so just to take those big terms and break them down a little bit, like how many people do we know that say I'm fine when you can really tell that they're not fine? So that's kind of that pretending. And then denying is when we have a dream, we have a vision, but we're like, oh, it's not possible. So we're stuck in that spiral of self-denial. And then lastly, the nullifying our sovereignty is when, we hear the intuitions, like, through prayer, through meditation, through holding still, through being in nature, like we get these messages, and then we're like, no, that's that's not divine. That's not, that's not empowered. That's not true. So we deny it again and again. So then the chapter wraps up with me guiding the audience as to how they could amplify, liberate their love legacy.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Andrea's chapter begins on page 109, and it begins with a quote, a personal quote of her own. The human spirit is strong and pure, but it breaks under the continued assault of self minimizing inflicted by the human mind. So basically, what I got from that is to stop minimizing your shine and let your light shine bright. And that's how you will be liberated and have a legacy created in your world. And if you want to hear and read more of how Andrea goes about doing that, you got to get the book. Got to go get the book. Becoming a Better You. The world is ready. So, Andrea, if they want to get a personalized signed copy of your book, how can they get it from you?
The best way to get the book from me is to reach out through Instagram at this moment in time. And Instagram, it's Legacy Liberation Coaching. So all one word, Legacy Liberation Coaching. So reaching out through Instagram, through Facebook, there's the businesses on Facebook. My website is also legacyliberationcoaching.com. So you can fill out a form there and I'll get notified. Because right now I'm waiting for my copies, but that way I can sign it and get it right to you and get your address and everything.
Absolutely. So Andrea's going to put her information in the comments, her website, her IG page, her Facebook page. Reach out to her. We are doing pre-sale copies right now. You can get your pre-sale from Andrea and probably have it shipped to you before the end of the year. But don't wait, because she's got a limited supply of copies. So if you want to get your personalized copy so that you can create a love legacy and learn about some of the other 25 authors in this book, then go on and reach out to Andrea right now. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you. We appreciate that. Creating a legacy of love. Is there anything better that you could be doing in this holiday season? Creating not just love, but a legacy of love. I love that word legacy, because it legacies go beyond you. After you're long gone, your legacy lives on. And if you've created a legacy of love, then guess what? The love lives on. Thank you so much. We got another person that is backstage. We are going to bring him on. He's been waiting patiently. He is coming all the way from the wonderful island state, Hawaii. Let's see if he can hear us. Let's give a big ohana to our good friend Charles Princeton.
Aloha, all the way from the west side of Oahu. Why not?
Hey, Charles.
And I like to let it be known that I am 4 hours behind everybody. So yeah, this is interrupting my sleep after Thanksgiving. I was hibernating because I ate a lot.
We are glad you took some time out of your schedule. Come on and introduce yourself. Tell us why you're part of the book, and tell us a little bit about your chapter.
Wow, that's a lot. First of all, I want to say happy day after Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're not out there spending a lot of money. Plenty prayers and aloha coming to you and your ohana, your family, in these times that we are in. So I'm just going to give a big summary here. I'm on my second year with BTBY. And I remember when Terrence and Britt and I got this all started, and all these amazing family, because we started off with just a couple, and we are now 1,000 that we have grown. And the reason why we've grown is because, as Felton said, we are family. And if you come and even mix it up with us a little bit, share some time with us, you'll feel the love. You'll feel the aloha. And that's what brought me to BTBY, because I have overcome many challenges in my life, and I want to help those with theirs. your locker room
All right.
coach.
He is popping in,
All
popping
right.
out.
Am I there?
You are here.
Okay. Hey, that's just the way it is. Heva on the island is evil. Know this: when you want to share aloha, the devil will try to interfere. It ain't going to happen. Not with this family. So let's try
Absolutely.
this again. I am Chuck Princeton, aka Coach Chuck, your locker room coach in this game of life. How can I say that? I have coached athletics and youth for over 49 years. Good coaches coach X's and O's. Great coaches coach life. And that's what I do. Um, you know, I like to talk about my book, how to, or my chapter in this amazing book with all these amazing chapters. And I must say, it's hard for me to read. We haven't got it in a audio yet because by the time I hit my sophomore year in high school, I attended 18 elementary, 9 juniors. I ran away at 16, got adopted by a Japanese widow lady, and my life as a young man began. So it's how to overcome a horrible childhood. See, it all starts with your parents and your parents' parents and your parents' parents. See, traits are real. Traits of negativity will be passed down the same as it is. New Year's, your birthday, the tooth fairy are passed down in positivity. Well, negativity is also. Our youth, I was a victim of the environment that I lived in. And I'm talking domestic violence, child abuse, sexual abuse, abandonment, all of these things. So I have a purpose. I have a promise that I made at 3 years old. That if my God would allow me to get old, I promised him I would make it right. December 10th, I reached 68 years old. And every day I wake up, I'm going to continue to keep that promise that I made to my God. Because have you ever heard you sound just like your mother? Or you act just like your father? Well, I can humbly say that over the years, I have broken. And today I live on the west side of the island with my family. Last year, I almost died. I came back strong. I'm healthy now, but I had thoughts of something was coming through me to tell me to reconnect with the family because my father died at 86 years old and he never in his life saw his family, his father. My father wasn't in my life for many years. I wasn't in my daughter's life for many years. Generational cycles of negativity passed down from generation to generation to generation until they're broken. I moved back here November 16th, and I am now the great grandfather, father, and me. And if God's willing, I will have a 5-generation legacy, and my great grandchildren will go through what my past generations have. So check yourself. That's what this book is all about. Checking yourself, bringing awareness to those traits that you live your life every day and don't even know they're on you because that's just the way it is. That's how I was raised. So that's what my chapter is all about.
I
But
love
like I
it.
said,
Go ahead, Chuck.
so if you'd like to get a hold of me, look, I am not modern techie. Everybody knows this. They'll probably get a big laugh out of it. I do the best I can. Okay. I still am illiterate, but I will fight to continue to spread my message of change. Change is possible, but it starts with you. So if you'd like to get a hold of me, I believe I set this Venmo up right. You can go to Charles-Prinzen in Venmo if you would like for me to send you, or you can look me up on Facebook. I have many friends. I will I will continue to grow in sharing the aloha with those. So Facebook, Chuck Prinzen at Yahoo, Chuck Prinzen at Yahoo.
All right.
Right here with the family. Plenty prayers and aloha going to you and your families. Aloha.
Absolutely. Aloha, Charles Princeton. You know, the devil was in the background fighting with you, but you kept going strong, and we thank you for that. I'm going to help you out. You can email Chuck at chuckprinzen@yahoo.com, and then Chuck can give you his Venmo link to get your signed, personalized copy of his book. But that's not it. Chuck also has a website, meinknow.com. meinknow.com. Go check it out. Check out his coaching program. Check out some of his videos, some of his speaking engagement. Definitely check this brother out.
Hey, Terrence,
yes,
real quick.
yes.
Me Inc., I got to tell you, Me Inc. now came through me 14 years ago, and that stands for me expressing I need change now.
You took the words right out of my mouth, right from your chapter. He also said in his chapter, and I think this is important, be the better you can be by overcoming your challenges, because it's not just an experience, it's an attitude adjustment. In order for you to become the better you each and every day, it first starts in the mind. Somebody way smarter than me said, before you get to where you are in life, your mind has to get there first. So if you're looking to become a better version of yourself, then start right here and recognize it's me that's in need of change. When? Right now. Thank you so much, Chuck. We appreciate you. Aloha, and enjoy the islands. Maybe, 2024, there's a BTBY retreat in Hawaii. I don't know. I'm just saying. We're throwing it out there into the universe. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And I laid all of you.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, okay. Only because it's you, I'll allow that. But normally, I will only
We're
be
live.
laid. I will only be laid by Charles Prinzen. Okay, there you go. We're gonna delete that from the recording. It never made it. All right, moving right along. Again, his chapter is on page 159. How to overcome a horrible childhood. Some of us know a little bit about having some horrible childhoods, and there's probably some people that's going to read this book that have had a horrible childhood and still are trying to find a way to overcome. Well, we've got it in for you in the book, Becoming a Better You. The world is ready for you to overcome that horrible childhood and have an unstoppable rest of your life. Yes, indeed, I said it. We're going to claim it. We're going to lock it in. All right. Moving on to our next author who has been waiting patiently. She has done some great things for BTBY. She's been a road dog for BTBY. She's been one of the first people that have been speaking in our youth experience. She is the co-host of the BTBY TV show, and she is a person that does things with intention. And that's why we call her the intentional healer. Welcome to the stage.
What is up? I was prepping for Heather. I was like, woohoo.
Yeah, I had to keep both of y'all guessing. So there you go.
You had us guessing because we both, I think, felt a little surprised. But hey, Izzy the intentional healer, and it is a blessing and an honor, as always, to be here to share space, not only with my BTBYers and co-authors, but with all of you watching online. You have to read this book. You have to get it. You have to read it. It doesn't matter who you get it from. There's a lot of us that authors that we're connected to the same people. I don't care who you get it from. Get the book. Get a copy. You have to read it. I also have been reading some of the chapters, and even though I feel like I know a lot of the other co-authors, I'm realizing that I only knew a certain level of them, right? Which is how we maneuver this world, thinking we know things about the people we're showing up in life with, our co-workers, the people in the grocery store. But the reality is we don't know what other people are facing, which is why if you can start a life of intentionality and activate that power within you and find that self-love and that self-grace and that self-compassion, it is going to not only change your life and how you show up in life and the peace that you harbor in your life, but you are going to be a blessing to so many other people, right? And I always like to say, because I had to take this advice in my life, sometimes you cannot be your own hero in life, but I promise by being authentically you, you will be the hero in somebody else's life. Because as you've heard already from the great co-authors today, we're not alone. As we go hearing each other's stories, we see how connected we are. It's not about the fine details in life. It's about our feelings that we feel as we navigate life. That's where we are so connected. And that is why I have devoted my life to being an activator. As co-founder of Activate Your Power Now, I was hoping to be able to speak when James was on the call also. I think he was going to try to make it on today, but it's okay. He'll have his time. But my co-author, James Love, we have joined forces, not only together, but with BTBY so that we can go out and activate as many people as we can in their own truth, in their own healing process, so that they can then be on an intentional journey of becoming a better version of them. Whatever that means. That could mean personally, that could mean emotionally, that could mean spiritually, that could mean in your job, that could mean as a parent, as a spouse, as a partner. It's endless. It's endless. So when I say you need to go out and get this book, please do, and reach out to as many authors as you can, because we all want to share space with you and we want to go a little deeper with you, with not just our story, but get into your story. And we have the platforms. We have plenty of platforms to get you on, get your story told, and let's get you activated, because your best life is waiting for you. Did I miss something?
No, you said it all. And James and Izzy's chapter is on page 31 in the book. And I love what you say on, I'm not going to give the page away, but in the chapter you say, when you two decided to get activated, you didn't expect that your audience members who were there to support you would be activated too.
Right.
But here's the beauty of that statement. It's because we never know who's watching us, but recognize someone is always watching. And someone is out there trying to be activated, but they can't be activated until they see the activation in you.
Right. Activation is true.
Absolutely. Your activation could be the spark for somebody else's activation. And Izzy and James, they're here to tell you. They tell you in the book how their activation not only activated them, but it had a ripple effect of activating other people to become a better version of themselves. So we salute you, Izzy, and James, who's watching. We salute you both for taking this
James.
to the next level. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. James Love, he had to something unexpectedly come up today, so he is not here, but he does wish you guys love. He wishes you guys life, and he wishes you guys to go get a copy of this book. So Izzy, if they want a signed, personalized copy from you or from James or any of the other AYPN authors that are in this book, how can they do that?
So it is not on there yet, but it will be on our website, Activate Your Power Now, along with other merch. But yes, we have a meeting this week, so we're hoping to get all that set up. But activateyourpowernow.com, or reach out to me. Just reach out to me personally. You're on Facebook or probably watching this right now. So message me, put in the comments. Just find a way. Again, if it's not from me, please contact any author on this book and just get your copy.
Absolutely. We all know Izzy, and we can definitely get you in contact with Izzy. And when you read Izzy and James' story, make sure you go over and read this next phenomenal person's story, because I believe this is one of the people, through her association with BTBY and AYPN, was able to activate her own power. And now she is affectionately known as the motivational mentor and the BTBY road dog. She's been in like 5 different states representing BTBY along with the professor of change, but she's also been representing herself and telling her story of how she's overcome what some of us, if we are blessed long enough to live, will probably encounter in our own lives. And it's that midlife crisis. Comes in many shapes, comes in many forms, comes most of the time out of the blue. But as someone greater than I once said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish on this journey to becoming the better you. So let's welcome to the stage our road dog, our motivational mentor. Let's welcome Heather Davis. Hey, Heather.
Chicken wing.
Yay! Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, you already kind of said who I am. Heather Davis Leffler is on the book. I'm also known as HD Chicken Wing for Chuck Prinzen, and the motivational mentor. And why I want to be part of this book is I think the most important thing I want to talk about today. It's because of this Ohana. I haven't had the chance to read the chapters. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you and say I did, but I have spent so much time with Coach Chuck Prinzen, Coffee Cup Chuck, Izzy, Kenya, Andrea, like all of you. I've spent so much time. This book is going to be amazing because these people are amazing. I don't think people understand when they first come to be part of BTBY and we tell them you're going to be family. You have no idea what we mean. This is my 2nd year, and BTBY has literally changed my life. And so I think if you can just take the time to read these stories about these amazing people, I mean, your life will change. But as far as my chapter, what is a midlife crisis? Basically, my chapter talks about how, for me at 50, I wanted to make all these big changes, and I bought into society's thoughts of who and what I should be. I sold out, and I ignored all of the nudges and calls of God and the purpose that he put on my life. And it kind of talks about what that looked like over the last year and how I'm coming out of it. So I don't want to give away too much, obviously, because I want you to read my chapter. But I think that a lot of times with social media and the people you surround yourself with and the TV programs and music and all the things that we pour into our head, in life, we tend to start changing who we are based off of what people think we should be. And so my chapter will talk about how to, if you've done that, how to undo it. As we said with Izzy, how to get activated and make changes in your life and to get back to the purpose that you have, that you were called for.
Love it, love it, love it. And now we would be remiss if we did not say that Heather has her own podcast called The Motivational Mentor. And she says in her chapter that she's the motivational mentor because every day, even though there are horrible storms, I'm still posting a daily nugget to encourage everyone to keep going, to be better, to work on becoming the better you every minute of every day. Why is that so important to someone who's looking for a reason to get this book? Because you might. Go ahead, Heather. You asked. You answer that question.
Well, I think because life happens. Like you could wake up and have I'm having the best day ever, and then at lunch something happens. Someone pulls out in front of you. Someone hits your car. 1,000 things could happen, and your whole entire day changes. But it doesn't have to. You can take that moment to stop, as Izzy says, stop, breathe, and decide from there where you want to go. We just tend to get wrapped up in all the stuff instead of just taking a moment to breathe and choose a different pattern. And that's my
Yeah.
thing is even in the biggest storms, I get up every day and I think of something positive. You know, I start my day naming 3 things I'm thankful for. And some days they're really great things. And some days it's like, I'm thankful for a toothbrush because I know my breath stinks. I'm thankful for a hairbrush because this stuff is a mess. And I'm thankful that I have coffee. Like that's the best I can do. And then other days I wake up and I can tell you all these amazing things I'm thankful for in my life. And we all have those days. So you've got to find a way every day to wake up and be thankful and to choose to have a good day.
Yes. The best way to get over a crisis is to remember all the other crises you've gotten over in your life and how you're still here, and to be grateful for the small things. You know, they say life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it.
Yep.
If you choose to react to it on a positive level, if you choose to continue to look for the positive in your life in spite of the storm, then you are going to become a better version of yourself. Thank you so much for that, Heather. Heather's story, her chapter begins on page 91. Page 91 in the book. Definitely get out and get this information, get this book. Heather, how can they get a personalized signed copy of the book from you?
The easiest way for me, I think, is just going to be, because I have so many things going on, allthingshd@gmail.com. Just send me an email. You can also find me on Facebook under Heather Davis or The Motivational Mentor. I'm Heather Davis on Instagram, I believe, also. But probably the easiest way is just to send me an email and I'll get that taken care of for you.
allthingshd@gmail.com. That's got a ring to it. Let's make sure you put that information in the comments, because somebody is going to want to reach out directly to you to hear how they can overcome their crisis by reading how you have overcome yours. And as we move on, as we have made it through the first hour, we want to thank all of our authors that have already talked about their chapters, but we're not done yet, y'all. We still got a few more people that have taken some time out to be here, but we thank you for sticking and staying for the BTBY book launch. It's Black Friday, y'all. If you are looking for a gift that is not only going to last past Christmas and the day after Christmas, if you're looking for something that is going to be a gift that keeps giving each and every day throughout the year, well, look no further. It's the book. It's the Becoming the Better You. The world is ready. The world is ready for this book, but more importantly, the world is ready for you. What is the world ready for from you? A better version of you. What does that mean? Well, it could be 1% better than you were yesterday. It could be 10% better than you were last month. It could be 50% than you were 6 months ago. It could be 100% better than who you were before you saw this broadcast. That's the power of this book. It's only 230 pages total, but the information in here is priceless. Trust and believe. And I'm not only saying that because I'm in the book, I'm saying that because we're blessed to have 25 other phenomenal people in this book from all walks of life, from all across the country. And as you've seen, even across the Pacific Ocean, we've got people in this book sharing what it means to become a better version of you. So let's move right along. Let's move to someone who believes that you can be a superhero and not even wear a cape. Someone who believes that it's not the person in front of the person that makes a powerful couple, but it's the person beside the person, equally working to make them a better couple. This person is behind the scenes with BTBY, making sure the information gets out to all of our authors. She's behind the scenes, making sure that logistically things are happening. It's in terms of this book process. And she's doing some great things for us moving forward into 2022. But she is more than just a sidekick, y'all. We like to say she is the one who is helping the glue stick with this BTBY movement. Welcome to the stage, Kenya Crafts.
Thank you, everybody. How is everybody today? Hopefully, you're surviving your turkey coma.
We are doing great. Kenya, how are you doing?
I am doing amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So, Kenya, you know the three questions. Tell us who you are, why you decided to be a part of this powerful book, and then just give us a little bit, not too much, just a little bit of why your chapter is a must read in becoming the better you the world is ready.
Absolutely. So, I am Kenya Crafts Mester, and I am the other half, better half, the superhero behind the man of Johnny Avocado, however you want to put that. And why I wanted to be in this book is I attended my first BTBY conference in just February of this year. And in fact, we had just learned about the BTBY from our brother Coffee Cup Chuck, like last end of September, beginning of October. And I can remember Mr. Avocado going to meet with Brenda and me laying in bed with a broken leg, just dying to hear how it was all going. So everything has moved so fast, and I agree. It's once you meet everybody and become activated, it's just another family. And I learned through that first experience that I had a story that I needed to get out. And this was my first step.
I love it. Expound upon that for a little bit because, we talked about all the great things you're doing behind the scenes, but you came to one of our last events earlier this year and you saw Johnny do an amazing thing on the stage. And I'm sure you've seen that many times before, but something clicked inside you that said, I don't want to just see him on the stage. I want to see me on the stage. Tell us how being a part of BTBY and moreover, becoming the better you, that was something that needed to happen in your life.
Well, and it wasn't even just listening and seeing Johnny up on the stage. It was, seeing Izzy, hearing Heather, meeting Andrea, getting to know Chuck, all these people, wonderful people that I had met, and then getting to hear their story. And I'm like, I've been through a lot, and I know these people are helping me heal from that. I should get up there and help people heal as well, because that's all part of it. Is if I can help somebody get to that place faster than I did, then that's the thing. Because why have to drudge through 20 years of crap if somebody can help you get to it in 4 or 5?
Yeah. And I love how your story talks about you as a couple. We talked about it's not the person behind the person, it's the person beside the person. And you talk about in your chapter, which begins on page 117, for those of you who are looking to know how you can become better as a couple, the power of couple, a love story. She mentions 3 reasons why people continue to ask them how they are doing this thing and doing this thing real big. She says 3 important things go into our relationship. Number 1, we still try. Come on, y'all. Number 2, we communicate. Come on, y'all. And number 3, we have common goals. When you are working together individually, collectively towards common goals, and you communicate those goals to each other, and you try each and every day to become a better you you ultimately become a better couple. And then you have that, as Andrea says, you create that love legacy that other couples want to emulate. Not imitate, emulate, because no two couples are alike, but you can still try, you can still communicate, and you can still share those common goals no matter who you are in your relationship. So, Kenny, I thank you guys for being transparent. I thank you for sharing that. Some couple is going to become a better couple because they read your story. But that couple's going to want to get a copy from you. And they're going to want to get your signature because you too, you and Johnny Avocado, y'all make ish happen. And you're going to make ish happen for couples moving into 2024. So how can they get a signed copy of this book from you?
So, like everybody else, probably the easiest way right now is to get a hold of me through Facebook. And I'm going to put my email up in the comments so everybody can see it there. trulykenyacrafts@gmail.com. And I also share Johnny's website, johnnyavocado.com. I'll put that back up in the comments again, too.
Thank you so very much. Again, her chapter begins on page 117 in the book, The Power of Couple, a love story by Kenya Crafts Mester. Thank you so much. You guys, if you haven't had enough reasons why you should get a copy of this book right now, Black Friday weekend, go on over. We're going to give you that Amazon link so that you can go get a copy of the book in case you just want to wait to get a signed copy from one of these fabulous authors. If we haven't given you enough reason yet to get this book, then hold on to your seats, because last but certainly not least, we have somebody who gives you a morning cup of inspiration each and every day. But more importantly, this person, we feel, lives, breathes, and exudes what BTBY is all about. This person has gone through our training, has gone through our coaching, sometimes difficult, sometimes kicking and screaming, but most of the time receptive and open, because he has been on a journey ever since he was a teenager to becoming a better version of himself. And the person you see before you when you hear him speak so eloquently, because he is one of our winners of our Becoming the Best Speaker Academy, so you know he's gonna rock the house. But when you listen to him, you are going to say, no, man, you didn't go through all this. Come on, stop playing. But that's the power of becoming a better you, because it's not where you've been. It ain't even where you are, but it's where you're going next on this journey, on this thing called life, becoming a better version of yourself and bringing a couple of people along with you. And that's what I love about our friend Coffee Cup Chuck Doyle. You know, he wants you to stay positive, people, but he also wants you to jump on the train of this BTBY movement, because there's room for everybody, with only one rule, that you have to jump on with the intention of becoming a better you. Let's welcome to the stage Coffee Cup Chuck Doyle.
What's good, people? What's good? Yes, finally my turn. Finally. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say this. The people that you've heard before me, the people who are in this book, ooh, man, every story you read, you're going to become that person, because a lot of you people out there, a lot of you who seeking a change, a lot of you who seeking becoming better, you are already part of the book. So it is going to be important for you to go get this book. But like the unstoppable coach said, I am Coffee Cup Chuck, Chuck Doyle. My website is www.coffeecupchuck.com, www.chuckdoyle, You can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok under Coffee Cup Chuck. Oh man, you can look me up on BTBY's website, www.
ComeChangeYourLife.com.
ComeChangeYourLife.com. And you can also find me on Activate Your Power Now on Johnny Avocado's page. Y'all, I'm everywhere, so it's not going to be hard to find me. But check this out. One of the questions is, why did I join Becoming the Better You? Why did I jump on the train? I'm going to start off by saying I walked inside of a coffee shop. Coffee Cup Chuck walked inside of a coffee shop looking for change, looking to become an author, looking for community. And lo and behold, I heard a voice screaming out, "You lost? You're looking for something?" Yes, I am. I'm looking for a community. And I was invited by HD over to a table with a bunch of people who were becoming better people already. They were already in the process of becoming better. And just hearing some of the stuff that they were talking about, it let me know that I have found the place that I was looking for. Across the table, though, across the table sat somebody that did not really speak at all. And it made it more intriguing for me why that person hadn't spoken. But see, I had told my story, and that story is in this book. Change, 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 change. What I didn't know is the person that was sitting on the other side of the table listening to me talk about how I was changed was the professor of change herself. The crazy thing about this woman is she's Caucasian, she's older, and she's a felon. And I was black and I was young when I became a felon. And all my life, it was always the white man's fault. Always the white man's fault. It's the white man's fault. But yet, the woman that sat on the other side of the table was the same person as I, but in a totally different world. And reading her chapter let me know that none of us are far from being any different than the other. We all got journeys to go through. We all got stuff that we got to deal with in our lives. And sometimes we can't handle those things, those issues, those problems by ourselves. But you see, there are some people out there that have been through what you've been through. And this book right here is going to guide you in some sort of way, some fashion. You're not going to be able to get away from it. You're going to connect with somebody that's going to resonate with what you're going through. Now, I'm not going to stay too long, but when I read Brenda's chapter, three things she spoke that it really resonates with how I was able to change my life. And those three things were, she said, you have to reevaluate where you are. You have to figure out where you are in life. What are you doing with where you are? And then the second thing, you have to determine what you want. What do you want in your life? Do you want to change? Is that what you really want? Are you really looking for something that's different, that's going to catapult you to where you want to be? The last thing is find the way, like Johnny Avocado say, make that ish happen. You can't sit there dwelling on what you're going through and not try to find out a way to overcome it. Well, guess what? The Becoming the Better You, BTBY, The World is Ready book, that's the book that you need to get in order to make that happen. You're going to resonate. I'm telling you, you're going to resonate in this book. You really are. What question? It was one more question.
How can they get a signed copy of your book?
The signed copies, I've already said it earlier. Go to the websites. Go to www.comechangeyourlife. You can go on Amazon. But what we're working on right now, I am drawing a poll right now with the Johnson County Library System. We're looking to do a book launch at one of the libraries. We're trying to figure out which one is going to be the most center point of all of these. And we're still working together to make that happen, but this is going to give us at least a better opportunity to get multiple signatures on the copy that you get. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, like I said, reach our websites, hit me up at www.coffeecupchuck.com. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, any of those sites. And like I always say, stay positive, people.
Absolutely. Let's give it up for Coffee Cup Chuck. Man, you know, every chapter in this book is phenomenal. But if you want to see someone who has gone full circle in this BTBY thing, then you definitely want to read Coffee Cup Chuck's book. And, you know, I put the book up again for a reason. You know, the book, our symbol is encompassed within a circle for a reason. Because there are circles represent a beginning, but not an ending. Why? Because you can continue to grow. You can continue to get better. As you go around this circle of life, there's different stages in your life that you can continue to get better at. So Chuck encompasses the circle of what we've been doing here at BTBY. This book, with the 26 different authors, encompasses what we've done so far with BTBY. And again, we intentionally call this the first volume because there's more to come. There's more people that have more stories of how they have become a better version of themselves. And we've got more stories to tell. But you got to pick up this copy and read these 26 phenomenal stories so that you can make room for the next batch. And guess what? If you read these versions, if you read these stories, if you liberate your love, if you get intentional in your healing, if you become motivated by our motivational mentor, if you recognize the power of the individual and the power of the couple, and if you understand what it means to stay positive in each and everything you do, you'll not only become unstoppable, but you may find that you want to be the next author in the next volume of Becoming the Better You. So there's a reason right there and there to get your copy of this book. Now, here's my thing. I'm going to give you guys the Amazon link because you might want to get it right now. And then you might want to reach out to Andrea. You might want to reach out to Izzy. You might want to reach out to Kenya. You might want to reach out to Chuck Doyle. You might want to reach out to Heather. You might want to reach out to me in person and have each and every one of them sign that book right now. That's all well and good. So the Amazon link to getting the book, if you just want to get it right now on Black Friday, you can go on over to Amazon right now. The link is right there on the screen, and get your copy of the book and start reading this weekend these phenomenal stories on how you can become a better you. But we want you to reach out to those people that inspire you in this book and really get their signature and really have a conversation with them. The one thing you're going to find out about these authors that you may not find out about Stephen King, Stephen Covey, some of the other best-selling authors, is that these authors are approachable. These authors are here. These authors don't want to end the conversation with the chapter in this book. They want to begin the conversation with you on how you can become a better you moving forward. So
I'd love to add to that, Chuck. Can I pop?
I knew you would, Andrea.
Yeah, I would just wanted to say when you were holding up the cover, can you show us the cover one more time? I didn't hear you touch on the egg yolk, and I'd love if you get really close to the camera. I wonder if people can see that. From my understanding, it's an egg yolk, and I just was so impressed when the designers chose that, because from my experience in spiritual psychology, shadow work, transformational leadership, an egg yolk, like, it's really, to me, it represents that you can start fresh in any moment. Like any moment you can be like the egg that's about to burst open. Like every moment you can apologize to someone for how you're like, wow, I don't really align with that anymore. I'm sorry for how I was showing up. Like we can always have these fresh moments. And I really feel like this book is exactly about that, right? That we've all kind of walked the shadow. What is that song? Walk through the shadow of the valley of death. Like we've all had those moments. Yeah. And so anyway, I just love that is on the cover, and I wanted to just speak into that a little bit.
Well, I am so glad you spoke into that. Another way to look at that egg yolk is, in order for change to happen, you got to break a few eggs. You got to crack some things open. You've got to scramble some things up in your life. You got to flip some things over. Sometimes you got to look at the sunny side of the egg in order to make change. Sometimes you just got to scramble it all up and start fresh. Sometimes you've got to just start by breaking some things open, deciding that where I am is no longer where I want to be. And I'm going to shake some things up. I'm going to crack some things that have been holding me back in my life. And I am going to start right here and now, fresh, and becoming the better version. Don't get me preaching on a Black Friday, y'all. Don't get me started now.
Can I throw an intentional nugget and an intentional challenge out there?
Yes.
So how about we challenge ourselves to be an intentional yoke? Because if we know, yes, things must be broken open for us to fully assess and explore what's within. But if we could be the intentional yoke, we can intentionally break from the inside, which what I saw a meme saying, when an egg is broken from the inside, it creates new life. When it's broken from the outside, it ends life. So stop allowing the world and life to crack you open. Let's be intentional with our yoke. Let's open it intentionally on your own so you can explore a new life coming out of the shell instead of always being beaten, broken.
All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Heather, what final thoughts you want to say about this book?
I think I just want people the book, I just know it's going to have so many stories of overcoming challenges, overcoming the things that we have day to day in life. And I think that just knowing all the people that I know, the way that I know them, I just think that the book will literally change someone's life. I mean, I think each story will change somebody's life. We've talked over, many times of how we're all so different. And I've sat in the audience and listened to Coffee Cup Chuck, and I've listened to Izzy, and I've listened to Bren, and I think, gosh, I made the mistake of saying I don't have a story, and then God gave me one. So we have to be careful what we also say. But I think that for me, it's just, I think there's so many different stories and so many things that people have overcome, and we're all so different, that this book will have it will reach so many different people. It's not the same story over and over and over. It's not the same, winning over and over. And I think it will relate to different people because we've all had different challenges.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much, Heather. Kenya, final thoughts before we let go of this live today, but we don't let go of the feeling.
Man, even if you know the folks who read this or wrote this book, I highly encourage you to get a copy, read it, and gain new insight into the past of some of these people, because when you meet a person, you are getting a snapshot, and you might find out something. Wow, I would have never had ever considered you being like that or going through that, now that I see the person that you are now. And that can encourage you to be able to take those steps, because if we can do it, then you can too.
If we can do it, you can too. I love it. I love it. Coffee Cup Chuck, final thoughts.
Man, I just want to say, reading some of these stories in the book, like reading the story about Coach Charles Prinzham, man, if I read that story again today, it'll still give me the same chills. You know, that's how real the story is. When you read Kenya's Kenya's chapter, oh man, I remember when I got to proofread it, chills. You know, all of these Heather, chills. And it just lets me know that I am not by myself with the issues. I'm not by myself overcoming. I'm not the only one out there that has issues and continue to have issues. Becoming the better you is not becoming the best you. It's becoming the better you, because we're becoming better every day. And every day is a new challenge. So reading these chapters in this book let me know maybe I might be going through a difficult time in a relationship right now, and I might get over that. But next, it might be a financial issue, and that's in the book. You know, next, it might be another issue that's in the book. So to me, each individual story are stories that are being told in the past, but they definitely can have a big effect on your future. So my last thoughts would be, if you in any part of your life are looking for some way to change, if you're looking for a reason to change, get the book.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Coffee Cup Chuck. Thank you, Kenya Crafts Mester. Thank you, Andrea Luzon Coates. Thank you, Heather Davis. Thank you, Izzy, the Intentional Healer. We also want to give shouts out to Johnny Avocado, Velton Showell, Lori Morgan, and Charles Princeton, who all joined us here, and the other authors that couldn't be here today. We're putting them up here on the screen, all 26 of them on the back cover of this phenomenal book, Becoming the Better You, the World is Ready. My final thoughts, Becoming the Better You. You know, my chapter in the book starts off by saying becoming. Becoming is an intentional word in everything that we talk about, because it's not the act of getting there, it's the act of being. There's a lot of fake folks out there that act like they're at the place where they really aren't. How about being who you really are? This book is an opportunity for you to become a better individual. This book is an opportunity for you to become a better adult. This book is an opportunity for you to become a better mom, become a better dad, become a better employee, become a better entrepreneur, become a better citizen, become a better leader, become whoever you want to be. 26 different stories, 26 walks of life, 26 different situations in which these authors have overcome something, and now they're on the other side being the better version of themselves. And as one of my fellow colleagues says, if they can do it, guess what? Maybe, just maybe, by reading this book, you can do it too. And then you'll be like the title of my chapter. You'll be becoming unstoppable. And that's my wish for each and every one of you as we move into this holiday season. Pick up a copy of the book, Becoming the Better You, the World is Ready. You see the Amazon link there. Go back and watch the replay. Share it with all of your friends and family who you know they're probably trying to become a better version of themselves too. Reach out to these authors. They are giving you their personal links. They've given you their emails. They've given you many different ways you can reach out to them so that you don't just begin and end the conversation with this book, but you continue the conversation. Because just like the circle, it's a continuing circle of growth within this book. I thank you all for being here. We thank you all for watching it. Please send the replay out. And as always, wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day, but become the better version of you each and every day, and then you'll make it an unstoppable day. Take care. Thank you, authors.